Hello, I'm Ricky Lee, and today on the watch list, I'm joined by Michael Jones, CEO of Delta Gold Technologies. The company has just begun trading on the OTCQB venture market, a move that expands its access to US investors as it advances its work in quantum computing and next generation technology development. Michael, welcome back to the watch list.
Thanks very much. Nice to be here.
So, Michael, Delta Gold Technologies has now begun trading on the OTCQB, like I just mentioned. Beyond visibility, what practical benefits do you expect this listing to bring in terms of US investor engagement, partnerships, future funding opportunities, etc.?
Well, I think it's important that we're in the U.S. market. The U.S. is enormously important for the quantum computing business. A lot of the really large players are there. So in terms of following globally, really the U.S. is the focal point. There's also a lot of investment going on in Asia, of course, and here where we're based in London. But we do think that as we grow as a company, we have a global vision, so we have to be in the U.S. market.
Absolutely. And so, looking ahead, then, how do you see Delta's quantum intellectual property translating into revenue over the next 2 or 3 years? Is the focus more on licensing, strategic partnerships, or eventual product development?
Well, we're really early in the phase of developing quantum computing. We're right at the fundamental physics of creating a qubit, which is the core of a quantum computer. We all know regular computers have zeros or ones, quantum computers have qubits. So we're looking right at the base physics of actually creating how to create a stable and scalable qubit. It's very exciting work. It's going on at University of Toronto. And beyond that, we look to actually collaborate with other universities. And we've had quite a bit of outreach and discussion going on how we can take some of the greatest academics in this space and get them to combine and collaborate together. And that's been enormously interesting. And we do look for licensing eventually, but that's probably 2 to 3 years out. We do think that as we develop some of the technology, partnerships may become an important component as well. So we're keeping the revenue and business side of it relatively open as we develop the fundamental science, and then that will convert into patent protection and potential licenses.
And as you just touched on there as well, you're working closely with the University of Toronto. Can you walk us through how that collaboration is structured, particularly around IP ownership and patent strategy, to ensure Delta captures long-term value from the research?
Yeah, that's a great question. I mean, I think first thing is we have a research sponsorship agreement. So we sponsor research over a 3 year period. It's $1 million Canadian a year. We've agreed to do that. We've paid for the first year already, and we're well funded to be able to fund the other 2 years as well with cash in the bank. For that sponsorship, we get 100% of the intellectual property rights in perpetuity globally, and the University of Toronto gets a royalty from any revenue or sales. So it's a fairly standard university sponsorship research agreement, and it gives us the ability to invest in the research and capture that intellectual property right.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for your time today, Michael.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Once again, that is Michael Jones, CEO of Delta Gold Technologies. For more on the company and its move into the OTCQB venture market, visit deltagoldtech.com. That's all for this episode of The Watch List. I'm Ricky Lee. Make good choices today.